What's up, THS? I'm Mrs. Smith from the library. Our theme this week is Run for Your Life, and these are my top three. This week, Miss Jacobson and Miss Thompson are going to help me tell you about some books that are fast-paced, action-packed, and in all three of our books, we have a main character who is literally trying to save their own life. The first book I want to tell you about is called The Marrow Thieves. It's by Cherie Dimaline. So, in the not so distant future, global warming has basically ravaged North America. Polar ice caps have melted, it never stops raining. All the freshwater sources are either depleted or have been poisoned by industrial waste. People don't have enough food. The coasts of North America have crumbled and fallen into the ocean. So, the entire population of our continent is basically living on this strip of land that remains in the middle. And people are working 20-hour days, they don't sleep, and non-Indigenous people have lost the ability to dream. And so that's what's going on in this book when we meet Frenchie and his older brother. They are literally on the run on the very first page of this book. They are being hunted by recruiters. So recruiters are school truancy officers who go around looking for students who are Native American. The reason why they want to do this is to bring them back to schools where their bone marrow is going to be harvested for non-native people. That will be implanted into the non-native people, and they will have their ability to dream restored again. They're no longer depressed, no longer cranky. The world is a better place for everybody except for these Native Americans who are literally being hunted for their bone marrow. Frenchie meets some people along the way who become part of this makeshift family. If you watch The Walking Dead, this is really similar to that story because what they do is they zoom out on the main character and then they show you the backstory of all these other peripheral characters and show you how they kind of come together. The action in this book starts on the very first page and it does not let up until the end. It's a great book if you like to see your characters moving, getting into things, and there's some romance in there too. So like I said, that is The Marrow Thieves by Cherie Dimaline. It is book number 3 on our list for Run for Your Life.
Hey everybody, my name is Cherie Jacobson and I am the instructional coach here at Turner High School. That means I help teachers pick the best resources and instructional practices for you and for your classes. It also gives me some time to read amazing books and then tell you about them. So. Okay, so I am here to tell you about Compound. It is a very, very fast-paced book. It is not written on a terribly difficult level. There are, if you can see, a lot of words on each page. However, it's not overwhelming. It's probably written on about a 7th grade reading level. And basically, this kid, Eli, he has a twin brother and he has 2 sisters, mom and dad, and they are very wealthy, like super, super rich. And his dad has been preparing for the end of the world for years and years. And so when you have lots of money and you believe that, we're going to all die in a nuclear holocaust or something, then you can build yourself a compound. And so he has built a huge compound that's underground so that it could be safe from a nuclear fallout. Okay. However, there is a bomb goes off right at the beginning. And when the book starts, they have already been in the compound for 6 years. And so Eli goes back and tells you what happened. His twin brother and his grandma got locked out. So they were sealed in before the rest of his family could be in there. And now that they've been underground for 6 years, can you imagine? It's worse than a pandemic, like in being quarantined with your family. There is literally no one else, and you can't ever go outside. They have been there for 6 years, and Eli's starting to notice that his dad is like going cuckoo crazy, like might kill them all. There are some very strange things happening in the compound. He can't quite tell if somebody has internet access, like who would you be communicating with online? He also is very confused about some noises and parts of the compound that he's not allowed to go into. So it is very fast paced. There are some, it's the kind of book where you read to the end of the chapter and you're like, and so then you start the next chapter. And then you read another chapter, you get to the end and you're like, oh gosh. So I love those kind of books. They keep me reading, and they're the kind that get you to finish a book really fast. That is Compound by S.A. Bodeen.
I'm here to tell you guys about this book, I Hunt Killers. This book is perfect for anybody who loves true crime, who loves Criminal Minds, CSI, all those sorts of things. The thing that makes this book a little bit more interesting is that the main character, Jazz, his dad is a world famous serial killer. And Jazz, it was like take your kid to work day every single time that his dad had a different victim. So in the town that they live in, which is Lobo's Nod, they have a new serial killer who is like copying all of his dad's murders. And so he has to help the sheriff, G. William Tanner, figure out who is doing these killings. He has a girlfriend named Connie and a best friend named Howie, and so the story kind of goes through like how they suspect Jazz of being the murderer, but then he starts to kind of help them figure out who actually is the murderer. It doesn't end there though. So there are 3 books in this series. I checked out I Hunt Killers, read it, and then I pretty much had to find the next 2 immediately. So not only could I sleep at night, but so then I could figure out how this entire story ends. And let me tell you, this is perfect for Halloween time frame. So talk to Miss Smith and check out I Hunt Killers.
Those are my top 3 for this week, everyone. As always, feel free to visit the library website or use a Google form to request a book that we talked about today that might interest you. If you have something else in mind, feel free to let me know. If you counted the number of times that I said literally in this video, it was a lot. Feel free to @ me on Twitter and let me know the final count. I think it was more than 4. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great week. See you next time.